think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
7 hours later.
So it's basically like we had lettuce instead of bread because we worked out while doing it. Let me fix my hair. I feel like I'm all bothered after that. Okay, here we go. Hello friends, welcome back to Maxi's Kitchen. This is a fun one. It's a super easy focaccia bread for beginners and it's so delicious. I top it with caramelized onions, some Parmesan cheese, and I think you're gonna be shocked by how easy it is. I'm not like a professional bread maker, so if I can do it, so can you. Let's hop in. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna mix a cup of warm water with our yeast. And the reason why you hear the water on right now is because I'm letting the water warm up. You want the water to be between about 100 and 120 degrees for bread. And that's because it'll help activate the yeast, but you don't want it boiling hot because then it will kill the yeast. So I've got the water over here. That feels like a good warm temp. So now I'm just gonna go higher. I'm gonna go until we get to a cup. Let's check on it. Oh, maybe it was perfect.
3 hours later.
Huh. I feel like that might be good, actually. Let's see one more time.
1 hour later.
All right, here's a cup. So to our water, we're gonna add our yeast. This is a teaspoon of yeast, and then we're going to mix that together. And if you've never bought yeast before, I always buy the like instant or active dry yeast, and it'll come like this, and it's usually like a package of like 3 little packets attached to each other. So there you go, super easy. All right, so now to a large bowl, we're adding 2 cups of flour, and this is bread flour actually. This recipe will work with all-purpose flour or bread flour, but I always like to use bread flour whenever I'm cooking bread, baking bread. We're gonna add a teaspoon of sugar, which will feed the yeast. This isn't necessary, but your bread should rise a little bit faster if you have sugar in the dough. And then we all love a little salty kick. Oh, I'm getting a text. But we all love a little salty kick, so let's go ahead and put in a tablespoon of salt. All right, so now mix the dry ingredients together to make sure everything's evenly distributed. Easy peasy, right? Anybody can do this. Okay, now we're gonna stir again the yeast in the water just to make sure none has settled on the bottom. And then here we go, pour that liquid into the flour mixture. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. My computer keeps dinging at me. 1 second. Okay, and we're back. Pardon the interruption. So now we're just gonna go ahead and mix this together. And you're gonna mix it for about 3 minutes, pushing it kind of against the edges of the bowl, and you're gonna wait until a dough ball forms at the bottom of the bowl. So 3 minutes, let's get the timer started. Just kidding, I'm alone, so we'll just, feel it out. Forge ahead, everybody. Oh my gosh, this is an arm workout. I already did weights this morning. I always do like 20 minutes strength training in the morning. Continue, continue, continue. Oh my gosh, I need a little break. So now we're just gonna push it down to the bottom of the bowl, okay? Easy, so there's our dough ball. And then we're gonna cover it with some saran wrap, and we're gonna let it rise for 2 to 3 hours in a warm environment. And a pro tip is, a good warm environment is if you just turn the light on in your oven, that'll be a nice warm little spot for it, but make sure not to turn your oven on because we don't wanna bake this whole thing yet. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! And I love putting caramelized onions on my focaccia. This is optional, but recommended. Cut your onion in half root to through the root. And then I usually just cut both sides off like this. You're cutting off the root and the other side. Then you can really easily just peel off the skin. There's a little fly in here. Hello, friend. And now what I do is I just cut through the shorter edge in little strips. So then these are gonna create little strips. And then of course I will show you how we caramelize these beauties. All righty, folks. We are chopped up. So I'll meet you at the stove where we will caramelize. All right, folks, welcome to the stove. Now for the caramelized onions, this is easy peasy. The biggest thing with caramelized onions is you just need to be patient and you don't want to burn them. They are easy to burn. I've preheated my pan on medium high just to get it going, and now I'm gonna turn it down to medium. We have about a tablespoon of butter in the pan, Now I'm gonna add my onions, and then of course, let's hit them with some salt and pepper. And we'll adjust the salt and pepper as we go, but when food cooks, it kind of opens up its pores. So you can't just like salt things at the end and expect it to have as much flavor. You wanna salt at the beginning and at the end, potentially, depending on whether or not it needs it. The other thing with caramelized onions is you have to like stir them consistently, and this might take like 20 minutes. I'll probably do fast forward YouTube magic time for you so you don't have to wait here and watch. If you see parts of the onion like getting browned and frizzled, your heat's too high, turn it down. Just make sure you're at like a medium or medium low even once the pan gets hot, and just stir consistently so that they're all getting kind of jammy and golden brown and caramelized, and the sugars are developing and they're not getting burned. That's my speech on caramelized onions. Okay, and I wanted to show you, if the heat is low enough, you can multitask. I'm over there doing dishes while I'm doing this. All right, and see how our onions are beautiful and kind of golden brown and caramelized. I could even take them a little bit longer, but pretty much we're there. You could do a little bit longer, but they will continue to cook in the oven, so I think we're good to stop them here. Heat goes off. Always taste, and then adjust seasoning if needed. So they need a little bit more salt. That's just a golden rule to live by with cooking. All right, so our dough has doubled in size. It's been about 2 hours in the real world. I know it's been less time for you on YouTube. I'm getting tired. This day is long, but that's okay. We love it. We love it. Anyways, okay. So now what we're gonna do, isn't this cute? I got this in Italy this summer, is we're gonna put 3 tablespoons of olive oil on a quarter sheet pan. All right, so get the sheet pan all kind of coated with oil, and it doesn't hurt to get your fingertips a little oiled up because the dough is a little bit sticky. And then what we're gonna do is we are gonna place our beautiful dough on the baking sheet. Okay. And now we're just gonna try to kind of stretch it out into one even layer. And again, if the dough's sticking, you can get a little bit of oil on your hands, but try to stretch it. It'll kind of come back together, but try to get it as flat as you can, kind of in one layer. And it is looking gorgeous, and it smells good too. Okay, so now, as you can see, it's mostly spread out. I mean, some of the corners and stuff are still kind of coming in, but that's okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to cover it with plastic wrap, and we're gonna refrigerate it for at least an hour, but you can actually refrigerate it up to like 3 days, which will change the flavor a little bit. So I'm gonna cover it, refrigerate, and I'll see you back here. Time for the time travel for you guys, but for me, I've gotta wait. All right, so I hope the time traveling was nice. It's been an hour in the real world, and we've had our dough chilling in the fridge for an hour. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dimple it. So just make little dimples with your fingers. I feel like my hand is like very stiff doing this. I try to make sure it's kind of evenly distributed and there's no parts that are like really thin too. Okay, and then now we're gonna take our onions and just kind of spread these beauties on our focaccia. Again, this part is optional, but it's very delicious with them. Okay, our onions are distributed, and now we're gonna dust on some Parmesan cheese. And this is optional too, but who doesn't love Parmigiana, right? So dust that on. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, for the moment you have been waiting for all day, just kidding, you've only been waiting about 10 minutes, I've been waiting all day. We're gonna bake this beauty. 450 for about 20 minutes until it's nice and golden brown and beautiful. You're probably gonna see my mic pack, oh my gosh, behind the scenes. All right, here we go. And try to make sure your rack is kind of in the middle position. Let's see how it turns out. See you back here very soon. Okay, finally. Time to get the bread out. Gorgini. Wow, it looks so beautiful. There it is. See how it's like golden brown around the edges. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be crispy because it kind of like fries in the olive oil in a way, in the best way. Yay. Can't wait to try it. Okay, now for the moment I've been waiting for the whole video, the taste test. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. That crunch. I honestly forgot how good it is because I haven't made it in a while. It's insanely good. You have to make it. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Like and subscribe. Let me know what else you would like to see on here. I'm sending you so much love. I really, truly appreciated it if you watched the whole video. Thank you. And this is so good. Like buttery, delicious, crispy. Oh, it's so, so, so good. I can't wait for you to try it. Mwah.